flipping the coin to see how he's going to go in round 6 of the Sapphire Cup 2. He is going to go second and draws a hand that I doubt he'll keep. Ooh, spicy. We see on the other side of the hand, on the other side of the table, Rarlig has a Argus, the Herald of Doom.
That's not a card you see very often either.
No, despite its fairly high power level. We will see LightReaper find a diamond with his Shard of Fate, playing Sir Giles in his 5-shard deck. And he gets turn 2 Inquisitioned here, which on the mulligan hurts him pretty bad. He's going to lose a card in exchange for Rarlig's card. There's some good cards in his hand. He'll probably lose either the Prodigy or the Monarch here, though. The Pride's Falls can be played around once their existence is known. Although they are powerful removal, so depending on what's in Rarlig's hand, he might choose to get rid of one of the Pride's Falls. There's a good chance he's writing down all these cards so he can be aware of them in turns coming. And we see the Prodigy of Velociraptor get thrown into the graveyard for now. We see the Sepulchre Cryptus played. This will allow LightReaper to play a threshold that he doesn't already control. He chooses Ruby, so he can play his Deathmask Assailant.
A card that you see quite often in limited play.
Yeah, Deathmask Assailant is a strong, aggressive troop. Doesn't slow down Vampire Princess, though. It looks like Rarlig is playing Blood Sapphire Control, which we see LightReaper throw up on his record on the side. Another Diamond Shard is the draw for LightReaper, which is not a threshold he necessarily needs here. That Vampire Princess does survive the use of Pride's Fall without having an extra point of defense on it. Pride's Fall is pretty fantastic removal for big threats. The issue is some of the threats are not big enough.
That's also, I think, of note to look at LightReaper's champion choice.
Sir Giles. He will be able to give all of the troops in his deck +1 that share a trait with the target troop. And I imagine in this case all of his troops are necrotic. We see another Inquisition that picks off the Forgotten Monarch, leaving LightReaper with few threats in hand, and also with 2 Pride's Fall out of 3 cards for the Vampire Princess to hit, which it does. And now, with a Vampiric Kiss in hand, Rarlig can answer the Assailant on board, and he knows all but one of the cards in LightReaper's hand at this point. Also, got to use his charge power there, the Cranach charge power, pay 2 health to draw a card. Also got to gain 2 health from the Vampire Princess hitting. Also gets to gain 2 health from the Vampiric Kiss hitting the Death Mask. And it looks like LightReaper's in a pretty bad way. Even if he manages to stabilize the board now, he has to be afraid of that Argus ticking down. Soon it will be cheap enough to play for almost no cost.
LightReaper plays the Shard of Fate. Gets a wild threshold from it.
He's almost at his 5 thresholds, but it's hard to tell if that matters here. The hand loss has been pretty significant. Rarlig got another 50% chance of taking a Pride's Fall here and hits it, so now he's working with a pretty stacked hand. This will be a concede. LightReaper doesn't have an answer for the board. So both players will go to their reserves and try to make this matchup better for themselves. Don't know if it can go much better for the Blood Sapphire player. Dwarves are having a rough time in this meta. I mean, dwarves are having a rough time in this meta. I agree. If you report the wrong score, please whisper FiveShards in chat. We'll see the draw. This time, I don't think we'll see a mulligan from LightReaper, although he's got to be pretty salty about seeing both of those angels in his hand.
No, he might mulligan this. Crypt Dust only gets him one of his two major thresholds. This one he's more likely to keep.
That's true.
So turn one, Shards of Fate, grab a diamond, because we know they're Angel of Dawn's on the deck now. That's pretty important.
Yeah. Finds the Crypt Dust. Likely throws down the Shards of Fate here because he doesn't have many 2-shard plays. Gonna find the Ruby if I have to guess. Might go for the Sapphire or Wild because he has less of them.
Crypt Dust can create it though, but I think he's gonna grab a Ruby for the immediacy. He can play Crackling Bolt if he really needs to take care of something, and I think I'd rather that. Crypt Dust does the same thing. Lixel will get another one.
Yeah, he's at 5. That's pretty strong, really. He's at, on turn 3, he's at 4. I said 5, I meant 4.
He has no charges, but that's secondary to having Invincible Lixel.
I imagine that's part of the reason that he's running Giles is just less, like he doesn't want to rely on a champion power. So Giles is nice to hit the Necrotic, but it's okay almost any time in the game.
Yeah, you'll get 4 charges eventually. You just don't need it on turn 4 for anything.
So we see that Sapphire come down. We'll see Lixel again, very likely going to hit the Wild Shard here.
And then he can just draw into his blood. Oh, he actually opts for the blood.
The
Invincible, he might not need the Invincible yet.
It's not, maybe not even a matter of that. Maybe he just has blood cards that he wants to use, and so
doesn't want to rely on drawing top decking the blood. Yeah, I can see that.
Also, Sir Giles is a single Ruby in Charged Powerville, which is kind of good.
And I mean, Valiant, Escort, Lixel are no slouches. They'll attack for 2 and 3 damage each. 5 damage returns. Relatively nice. Rarlig not playing anything yet. End of turn Rockcast will destroy Lixel before she's invincible.
Yeah.
There's an option to bounce it back.
Yep, could use the Valiant Escort to save it here. And doing so allows him to replay it with Invincible next turn. That said,
that's what.
Yeah, that said, you know, Rarlig has the chance of just putting down a Sapphire and holding up holding up counter magic here.
What is the gems on the Forgotten Monarch?
Direct damage and speed.
All right, so counter magic is used on Lixel. That's like secondary to all the other cool things. It's like we're opting for Death Mask Assailant.
Good old reliable chaos key.
Yeah, the Chaos Key just able to remove anything.
And any
It's
deck can
not.
play it too. It's expensive though. You're paying for that. 2 costs to get the artifact in play, 5 costs to void target card. But it is a universal answer at that. Except
Yeah, it
against Spell
makes
Shield.
kind of makes you wonder why it was the option. I mean, it's not bad. I was just,
Yeah, and
what does it? I guess it answers invincible troops.
it
Yes.
does.
Forgotten Monarch here, gonna deal 3 damage to Rarlig. Not gonna be able to swing with the speed. It's possible that it's not socketed with speed now because I kind of see the fog covering it. But
It doesn't have the speed icon either.
yeah, wow, maybe it doesn't have speed.
Then that would be the unblockable gem. What is that called?
Flames?
Yeah, I wonder if it is. Yeah, it's probably the minor ruby of flames, major ruby of destruction. That feels like it'd be the most review thing. We see Pride's Fall picked up by LightReaper here. Considerably better on this board than it was last time around. Verdict of the Ancient Kings is going to slow that down. Unfortunate for LightReaper because he's going to very much want to get rid of that Vampire King. If it's Flames, he still can't swing here, right? That's double Ruby threshold on that?
Correct.
Zap, crackle, pop goes the lightning bolt, the crackling bolt.
Yeah, crackling bolt to the face. It's a bold move here.
It's a safe play at this point, with Rarlig sitting on no open resources.
Yeah, might be the last time he gets to play it. But with no cards left in hand, Rarlig can just use his turn to void the Forgotten Monarch. Or to just play another Vampire King, which LightReaper can't swing through.
I have to say, vampires are not so picky. They can have 2 kings and share the kingdom, I guess.
It's interesting that they don't have the unique tag.
Unlike a certain King Gabriel, doesn't he look and seem selfish now?
Yeah, Vampire Kings are unnamed and King Gabriel is named. I understand that, but I wonder what LightReaper is playing to here. Like, what are his outs beside like multiple Pride's Fall? Maybe that is the out. Crypt Dust is certainly not it. That does get him wild. Any troop he produces that would be able to block the Vampire Kings will just get Chaos Keyed away. We see the swing. We see the bolt likely. It's not going to. It's not going to keep Rarlig down. That will just reduce the or reverse the health gain that those vampires had last turn. We see Crannock draws a card, leaving Rarlig on 6. He's feeling confident in this swing and match. Purge would be a great out here.
But it's, alas, not it. A Sapphire, not going to be enough. So we've seen LightReaper's deck, but not able to handle this particular Blood Sapphire.
But we finally got to see him.
We did finally get to see it. And it is a Diamond Ruby focused Necrotic deck. Which,
True.
given the given proper draws, will do lots of work.